All right, let's dive right in. What if AI could suddenly give police thousands of hours of their time back? And what if that same tech could speed up the entire justice system? Well, today we're looking at a brand new partnership in the UK that's trying to do exactly that, using a pretty special kind of artificial intelligence. Just think about it for a second. Imagine taking that mound of paperwork right off a police officer's desk, freeing them up to actually be out on the streets, investigating cases. That is the huge promise of the technology we're looking at today. But, as always, is it really that simple?
So to really get why this AI solution is such a big deal, we first have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. And trust me, it's a big one. A massive, kind of hidden drain on police resources that happens every single day.
Tens of thousands. Let that number sink in. That is how many officer hours are lost every single year in the UK to just one administrative task. That's time not spent on the beat, not investigating crimes, but completely bogged down in paperwork.
And the main culprit here? It's these reports called ROVIs and ROTIs. Basically, anytime police interview a suspect, they have to create a detailed summary of it. These are absolutely essential pieces of evidence for any criminal case, but wow, are they incredibly time-consuming to create by hand.
And look, the consequences go way beyond just wasted time. This manual process slows down cases from the very start, it puts a huge burden on officers, and the quality of the evidence can sometimes be inconsistent. It really is a major bottleneck in the whole justice system.
So you have to ask, is there a way to break through this bottleneck? Well, a new partnership is aiming to do exactly that, and they're bringing in AI to help them do it.
So, the two key players in this story are Defence Holdings PLC, they're a UK-based company that specializes in defense software, and Gloucestershire Police. They've decided to team up to pilot a completely new way of doing things.
And they're using something called sovereign AI. Now, this is a really important concept to get your head around. It basically means the AI is developed and controlled entirely within the UK, and it's built specifically for the UK's own security needs. This is not some off-the-shelf product from another country. It is a custom-built, secure solution.
And when you put the old way and the new way side by side, wow. The difference this technology could make is just night and day. Instead of an officer hunched over a keyboard for hours, an AI could generate a structured, consistent report in a tiny fraction of the time. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how police resources can be managed.
The potential is obviously huge, but how are they actually going to make this happen? Let's take a look at the game plan for putting this new technology to the test.
And they're not just flipping a switch and hoping for the best, which is smart. They're taking a really careful, phased approach. So, phase one is what they call a proof of value. And that's starting right away to just test the basic concept. Then they'll benchmark its performance, see how fast and accurate it is, before even thinking about a second phase to make sure its output is good enough to be used as evidence in court. The big target is spring 2026, to see if this is ready for a much wider rollout. And what's really key here is that this isn't just a tech company telling the police what they need. The whole project is being co-designed with the officers on the ground. This ensures that the final product is a practical tool that actually helps them in the real world of law enforcement.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second. Because while this pilot is starting small in Gloucestershire, the implications of this project are potentially massive for the whole nation.
And you can see that straight from the top. The Chief Constable of Gloucestershire Police, Maggie Blythe, she really nails the practical goal here. She says if this technology can be proven to be reliable and accurate, the value it could unlock for policing is just enormous.
But then you hear from the tech side of the partnership, from Andy McCartney, and you realize the vision extends far beyond just local policing. He sees this pilot as a potential foundation, a building block for applications across the UK's entire national defense and security sectors.
So this project isn't just about making police work a bit more efficient. It actually clicks right into the UK's bigger strategic goals, the kind of stuff laid out in their main strategic defense review. It's seen as this huge opportunity to modernize policing, to improve evidence standards, and maybe even boost intelligence capabilities.
So, where does that leave us? Let's bring this all together. What is the ultimate takeaway from this really powerful new initiative?
When you look at all the pieces, it becomes crystal clear this is about so much more than just faster paperwork. What we're really watching here is a foundational test case. It's about building trust and proving that you can integrate secure, sovereign AI right into the very core of the UK's justice and national security machine. And that, of course, leaves us with a critical question to think about. The potential for efficiency is just undeniable, right?
But as this powerful technology gets woven more and more deeply into our justice system, how do we make absolutely sure that the drive for speed and automation never ever compromises the fundamental principles of accuracy, of accountability, and of fairness?